Marty, you're the oldest of the sons. What's your earliest memory of your dad?
I don't know if I could tell that one. He was married to my mama, and it wasn't the best of relationships. You know what, brother? There's too many. It's like a movie running full, too fast to watch in my head.
When did you realize he was Merle Haggard, the star, and not just Daddy?
I never did. I know that sounds silly. Obviously, I knew, you got to understand something. Merle Haggard never has existed to me, okay? All this music is great, but as good as you think it is, you got to hear it through my ears. He's my dad. Merle Haggard's an outsider's perspective, and it would be like Jesus and the Father. He don't see God, he sees his Father. And I see my dad, and music is the least important thing he ever brought into this world. You're looking at least 3 of them, okay? This is the best work he's ever done right here.
Noel strutting back there.
I'm doing Barney Fife.
Do you echo what Marty says about not being Merle, but just being Dad?
Yeah, I remember I stowed away underneath the bus. I got tired of the looking at the taillights pull out. So I stowed away under the bus, and that's when I remembered he was Merle Haggard.
You got under the bus?
Yeah, I got in the cargo place.
You got tired of watching
We got about 300 miles down the road, and I popped out, and he said, well, give him a job. So I
Put you to work.
passed out programs, yeah.
How old were you at that point?
Hey, about 11.
Wow.
He's a stowaway.
He ain't leaving me no more, brother. I'm going with you.
Ben, being the youngest, you maybe have a different perspective. You joined the band and played as a part of the Strangers for how many years now?
It was 8 years, I believe.
Yeah.
8 years. Started when I was 15. I'm 23, 22.
All that I have heard forever about Ben Haggard is that you are a fantastic guitar player. Did your dad teach you to play guitar?
Well, I didn't really let him hear me until I...
Did you went on stage?
My mom, she said, you need to listen to Ben, and I'd be out in the garage playing. And I never thought of anything that I'd be good enough to get out on stage with him, And he finally heard me, and he's like, God dang,
He called me one day, Ben. He said, he had like a tear in his voice. He said, I can't say the words. He said, Benny's playing his ass off, is what he said, he said, I'm serious. You need to listen to him.
So you joined the band. At some point in all of your lives, were you part of the Strangers? I know you were on the road with him and on the stage with him.
I was.
Were you
with
ever
him.
like part of the Strangers?
I was when Leona left him. The third one to leave him at that time. It was in 1982. It was just maybe 83, because that's where love goes. I was doing concessions with Dad. I was his partner in that thing, and Leona had left, and I happened to be walking by the front of the stage, and up to that point, I'd always done my own thing, but Dad said, hey, Marty, get up here, grab your guitar. I need to sing harmony and play rhythm for me tonight. He said, Leona left me. I said, I don't sing harmony, Dad. He said, just get up here when we get home. I'll get somebody else. That was 2 years later. I was still up there.
Not singing harmony.
No. But it was Ronnie, you know the band, it was Tiny and Tiny Moore, and it was a 13-piece band. It was probably the best band I've ever heard in my life. And I sat on the very end.
Shamlin.
Yeah, but I sat on the very end with Tiny, and musically speaking, that was probably the funnest period of my life. But yeah, Dad, I think that's what Willie said, that Dad and Willie, the one thing they had in common was all their boys had played in his band.
I'm the only one that got text fired, though.
That got what?
Text fired.
He got fired by text.
Didn't even get a call.
And I said, wait, Merle don't know how to text.
You mean your father fired you with a text message?
His wife, his mom, fired me through a text.
Well, you were hired 2 days later, right?
He told me not to do something. I did it anyway, and he gave me a little time off and then hired me back. So.
Was he a disciplinarian? Did he-
No, he just didn't want anybody, he was out there paying you good money to do the right thing, help him and do the thing. And he didn't want you to do what he did,
Tight ship.
You got to do as I say, not as I
He
do.
loved
Yeah.
us, and he just didn't want you messing up. He was trying to help you, so.
Yeah.
Did he, being on the stage, would he correct you and tell you certain things to do or not to do?
Oh yeah, right when I started when I was 15 and about as nervous as I can get, he would tell me when I did something wrong. He made me kick off Strangers 4 different times one night.
Marty, I noticed the song that you picked to sing is one of your dad's classics called Mama's Hungry Eyes. Merle wrote a lot about his mama. Mama tried, Mama's Hungry Eyes, a lot about family. I've got to believe he and his mom were pretty close.
They obviously were. I can honestly say that my grandma and I were probably the closest of the family. My grandma raised me when my dad was still out raising hell, okay? And raised us kids. Grandma Haggard, I've always believed she was the greatest woman I'd ever known in my life. And then I met my wife. And then my grandma would have loved my wife. But my grandma Haggard and I were very, very close, and the tie that really bound us was Jesus. We both have a undying love for Jesus. But grandma, she taught me the same thing she taught him. He went to prison, I didn't, so it definitely was his fault, okay? And yeah, he loved his mama, and I'm thankful that she lived long enough to see him turn his life around, because grandma never did give up on him, and she kept loving him, kept praying for him, and he finally made it, and she went to her grave so proud of her boy.
I only met her one time, but I came away from that meeting thinking that this is the kindest, most gentle woman. You'd expect maybe, hey, I'm Merle Haggard's mom, none of that.
Jesus in a skirt, that's what she was.
Goodness, what a beautiful description. Yeah. She was a great lady.
Jesus in a skirt.
How about singing the song for
I'll
us?
try.
All right.
I've been sick. Oh, stop it.
Grandma will take care of you.
Hang on, I need a guitar. Jesus.
Marty, take your guitar with you.
That one there.
All right, boys.
A canvas covered cabin in a crowded labor camp. Stand out in this memory I revive. 'Cause my daddy raised a family there with 2 hard-working hands, and tried to feed my mama's hungry eyes. He dreamed of something better, and my mama's faith was strong, and us kids were just too young to realize that another class of people put us somewhere just below. One more reason for my mama's hungry eyes. Mama never had the luxury she wanted, but it wasn't 'cause my daddy didn't try. She only wanted things she really needed. One more reason for my mama's hungry eyes. I remember Daddy praying for a better way of life, but I don't recall a change of any size. just a little loss of courage as their age began to show, and more sadness in my mama's hungry eyes. Mom never had the luxury she wanted, but it wasn't 'cause my daddy didn't try. She only wanted things she really needed. One more reason for my mama's hungry eyes. Yeah, I still recall my mama's hungry eyes.
These clips are great, but to see where Country Legacy lives in full episodes, go to countryroad.tv.